What's good, everybody? This is D, the Philly Renegade. We're gonna go into practice mode. This video is all about the 5-2 formation. I'm gonna break down 3 different plays that I run out of this formation down on the goal line. If you get in a situation where you're down on the goal line, you know it's hit or miss of whether your opponent's gonna get in or not. But this formation, I get a lot of turnovers off this formation, and I just wanted to show you some of the tips and tricks that I do out of this formation to get some success here. So I actually was talking to a subscriber last night about this formation, and I mentioned it to him, and we weren't even talking about goal line defense. We were really talking about just defense in general, and somehow I brought up goal line defense, and I had talked about the 5-2 formation. And he said he had never even heard of the 5-2 formation, which as soon as he said that, I was like, all right, it's going to be time to put together a video. What am I doing? I'm trying to, I did not spot the ball like I wanted to. So let me, I got to do that over again. So he said he didn't even hear the 5-2 formation. And it makes sense because looking it up, I looked on MaddenSchools.com, and he said the 5-2 formation is only in multiple D, the 49ers defense, and the Lions defense. So it makes sense that not a whole lot of people use it. Now, I'm planning another video where I'm going to talk about custom playbooks, because one of the very first things I do every year, probably the first thing I do before I even play a game of Madden, is start to work on my custom playbooks. And defensive playbook is easy, and we'll get into that in the next video. I'll talk a little bit more about that, but I'm learning that running custom playbook is a little bit taboo, I guess. so we'll talk about that. I'm gonna make that a video, and I'm gonna get some opinions from the community on what y'all feel about custom playbooks. I run head to head. There's really no reason not to run a custom playbook, in my opinion. So we'll talk about that in a minute. But let's talk about this 5-2. This 5-2 normal, I believe it used to be called the 5-2 monster, and I run 3 plays out of this primarily. So I run this 5-2 normal, cover 3, the pinch, and the fire zone 2. And I'm gonna go through each one of them, but I'm gonna start with the cover 3. So first thing first, actually, you know what, I'm gonna have to run this again, but let me find a good play. I wanna run something relatively realistic down on the goal line. All right, I'm gonna run this wash stick. Relatively realistic play somebody might run down on the goal line. And I'm gonna have to run it again because I didn't make a substitution here. So I'm gonna just let this run and make my substitution. So the reason why I like this defense is because, as you see it, it's a run heavy defense, right? It's a run heavy defense. So let me choose a new play. But the way I make my adjustments, I actually make it a very effective pass defense as well. So from an adjustment perspective, Brandon Graham is in the starting lineup for the Eagles. I usually substitute him out before the game even starts in my depth chart, but for practice mode, he's in there. So just a quick tip, coming into your formation, your substitution. I'm assuming you guys are already doing this, but I'm going beginner level on this tip here. Triangle, and I'll go over to Brandon Graham, and I'm going to put Hassan Reddick in there. Now, some of y'all might not be doing this. You might be just running your depth chart, changing your players, and keeping them in, you know, the entire game. The reason why I like this is because you can go very specialized to just this formation. So, for instance, if I wanted Brandon Graham in the game on every other formation, but I just happen to want Hassan Reddick in on this one, I can make this adjustment. And in real life, the way I use this is on certain nickel formations, or certain down formations, I should say. TJ Edwards is in the game, and he's the only linebacker on the field. Now, TJ Edwards is a little bit slower than all the other linebackers, so I might substitute Kaiser White, number 43, in on just those formations. So just a little way I use substitutions, a little quick tip there. So all right, so I'm gonna go Hassan Reddick there, and then I'm gonna call the cover 3, and I'm gonna call the same wide stick play here. So from an adjustments perspective, again, I said this is a very run heavy look. You got Dalvin Cook in the backfield. You could obviously run this ball. This looks like a run play. But what I'll do is, if I suspect a pass, I'll take Hassan Reddick, X, and then left stick to the left, put him on a hard flat. So I got a man over there. There's 3 tight ends on the field there. that he'll run out and he'll just be an extra coverage player on that side. And then same thing with Josh Sweat. I usually match my adjustments, especially with the ball spot in the middle of the field like it is. I'll just put Josh Sweat on a hard flat there. Now, when I was in my substitutions, I didn't mention this, but I could have put a linebacker in Josh Sweat's position. I consider that somewhat cheesy, but Josh Sweat got speed, so I'll leave him in the game. But the Eagles have a linebacker, Johnson, number 58, that's actually fast. He's up in the 80s speed-wise, so if I want to go a little cheesy, I could put him there and then drop him out in the coverage there. So, all right, so let's look at this and let's let this run. I'm going to be TJ Edwards in the middle of the field. And I'm going to play the middle. I'm looking at that cross. So he had to cross it there. But you see how long it took him to throw that ball? And we're going to look at the instant replay, and I'm going to show you why. All right, instant replay. So let's look at this. Zoom out a little bit. So let's start on the screen right side of the field where the 3 tight ends are. You got the 3 tight ends, they all bunched. And with me playing in the middle of the field, I actually have 4 receivers. I'm sorry, 4 people in coverage over there. So I got TJ Edwards, myself, Josh Sweat dropped out off the line. I'm sorry, Hassan Reddick dropped off the line. Then I had the safety and the cornerback over there. So that's covered. Now, on the other side, I got 3 defensive players over here and only really 1 receiver cutting through. And then I'm playing the middle of the field. So here, because there's nobody else coming through, I really should have ran hard with him across the field. I didn't, and he got the pass. But looking at it from a defensive perspective, I had people locked down for quite a while on this play. And that's all you ask for in this. You're going to cause some confusion. A user might accidentally throw the ball, or not accidentally, he might throw the ball over to the right side where everybody was covered, throw an interception. So I'm going to run this again. I'm putting him in a hard flat again. Hard flat again. And this time I'm going to use TJ Edwards. I'm sorry, Marcus Epps to cover the middle of the field. Let it run. See how much time he needed? Again, he got the tutty. Will the defensive line hold up that long? You never know. So it just causes some confusion then. So I'm gonna call a different play here. And this one, for the play that I called, I actually like this one better, pinch. So and I'm gonna call that same stick play. And the reason why I like this one better, because you got your slants. What I normally do if I suspect a slant, I bring everybody down. Inside shade. So you see Bradbury over here playing Jefferson on the inside. I haven't made an adjustment because I will probably have Slay on him, but Bradbury's playing to the inside. Now, if I try to adjust Hassan Reddick, I hit X and then bring up the zone. I can't put him in the middle of the field, so I'm gonna choose a seam flat or vertical hook. I'll do vertical hook. And see how it takes him all the way over here? I'm going to use him anyway, so I don't really necessarily mind that. If I actually do TJ Edwards and put him, I could do a middle third, and he would cover the middle of the field naturally. But I'm going to use Hassan Reddick in this case. And then again, I could put Josh Sweat on a hard flat, but in this case, I'm just going to drop him in the vertical hook. So I mix and match this depending on what I think is coming. In this case, say I suspect a slant, I'm going to put him on a vertical hook because he's going to drop out and pretty much be sitting in there where the wide receiver is coming in for the slant. And then I'll do the same thing on the other side. And on this side, I might put him in the hard flat, Hassan Reddick. But I'll put him on a vertical hook as well. And then again, I'm going to use a Kaiser White in this instant. Let's let this run. See all that crowd? He didn't get in there. And I'm really interested to see what happened on that slant. So let's look at the replay on that. So inside shade, he bunched it up pretty good. So if you look, I'm gonna look at Josh Sweat, specifically Josh Sweat. Josh Sweat drops out, and right where he's gonna run that slant, he got a player there. Bradbury did a good job checking him. Anyway, he played inside well. But if he was trying to go to Jefferson, Jefferson got to fit in between these two defenders, right? And that's a pretty hard sell. Now he threw the ball pretty quick and went the other way, but if you look, everything's locked down. So again, I would use pinch if I'm suspecting like a slant or something, something quick. I would use a pinch. Now the last one I'm going to call, I'll run this if I think he's going to run something. I'll try to find another play for this. So fire zone 2. If I suspect he's going to do something to the outside with the cornerback, nothing there. Let's see if I can find something. Actually, you know what? I'm even going to go gun. And I told the subscriber that I would even run this in a 5 wide, and he was like, "What?" So all right, this is a good one. Curl flats. I'm gonna run this. So here, my 2 cornerbacks are gonna sit there for something short. What I'll probably do here is go vertical hook with Sweat. Assign Reddick on the hook. Now, this, if I run this naturally, the middle of the field is gonna be wide open. Again, I'm running this only because I think he's going to the outside, and I might even go outside coverage adjustment. So triangle and then right stick to the right. So go outside, and let's let this run. See that? Now I'm coming off of Fletcher Cox, and I'm going to get him, so he wouldn't have that much time. But let's go into instant replay. All right, so let's look at this. I'm specifically looking for the outside. So as you can see here, he came off, but Slay, I think that should be Slay. Slay comes off and he's covering that. That probably was the best place for him to go on this play. Let's come back over here, spin it back. Other side, Josh Sweat. And this is where I was saying I might put a faster linebacker here, right? So Josh Sweat, he does his thing. Actually, I put him in the vertical hook. So if he did a flat, he would have ran with him a little bit more. So I put him in the vertical hook. But really, this guy, this is Dalvin Cook actually. Bradbury's responsible for him. Now, Bradbury's probably paying him a little deeper than I would like, but actually he started making the cut in. So he's covering that. So that's locked down. So again, I would use this particular defense if I suspect he's going outside, and then I was inside, and I was covering the middle of the field. So again, that was the pinch. Let me come out, choose new play. Not the pinch, I'm sorry. That was the fire zone 2. Now this time I'm going to call, let me see, I'm going to call pinch, and I'm just going to run a random offensive play. So L3. So I don't know what he's running. So let me make my adjustment. So here I might put him in the vertical because I'm looking for maybe an inside. Here, put him also in the vertical. What I could also do is if I'm thinking that he's going to this tight end here, number 87, that's a Hawkinson, I might double team him with Reddick. So that was X, up on the right stick, and then X. So he's double teaming him. So you can mix and match this how you want. And then I'm going to use Kaiser White. Now this time I put him in a quarterback contain, and so see here again, remember I was saying how if I put him in a zone, pretty much there's nothing that's going to keep him in the middle of the field. So if I put him in a quarterback contain, quarterback spy, so it's X, right on the right stick, left on the right stick, quarterback spy. It is a spy, but it pretty much serves as a zone. If I click off of him, he's pretty much just going to be wandering in the middle of the field. If he's to throw the ball in there, he's going to go cover that. So let's let this one run. Again, I don't know what offensive play this is because I chose random. Let's see what happens here. No, this is a different play. And there we go. So it's good against the run as well. Managed to replay that. So I put those guys in zones. Let's see what Kaiser White did on this because I had him dropping in the zone. He starts to drop, and then he recognizes the run, and he comes up and makes the play. Right. And let's look at Sweat, even though the ball went to the other side. Even Sweat. See, even though I had him in the zone, he saw the run, he started to come down. And let's run it one more time with a random. And this time I'm going to choose the cover 3 here with the random play out of this formation. All right, so what I'm going to do here, let me see. I think I'll put him on a vertical hook. I'll put him on a vertical hook because, no, actually I'm put him on a hard flat. And the reason why I did that because this wide receiver, say I suspect he's going to run like a flat over here. So I'll put him there. And I probably would spread him only because it just gets him a little closer to the sideline there. And there's no running back in the backfield, right? So I'm not worried about him handing the ball off. So all right, so let's let this run. I'm playing the middle of the field. Locked. Not knowing what play was coming, everything was locked in. Go instant replay. Hassan Reddick drops off. He's going to a flat. Josh Sweat. I think I put Josh Sweat in the hook there. I have to go back and look. Looks like he ran a hook and not a flat, which is cool. And then I played the middle of the field. He had to take the check down. I actually got him for a big loss there. So this defense caused a lot of confusion. If you really think about what I'm doing, I'm turning a 5-2 into a 3-4, right? So it looks heavy. It looks like almost like a goal line defense. And I rarely call goal line when I get down here. I almost never call goal line. I always call 5-2. So it turns it into a 3-4 because I'm dropping out my 2, what I'll call linebackers with Hassan Reddick and Josh Sweat, even though Josh Sweat's not a linebacker. I'll call a linebacker. It's really turning into a 3-4. Telling you, run this. When I was talking with the subscriber, he ran it and messaged me about 20 minutes later, said he ran it for the first time and got an interception on his first play. Because it causes a lot of confusion, I'm telling you. So get in the lab, practice it up, make sure you got it in your playbook. If you're not running custom, we're gonna talk about that in another video. So anyway, this Philly Renegade, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. I just want to thank y'all for the love on how to double team just about everybody. That video, when I was making the video back and forth, I mentioned that video had just crossed about 500 views, or it was close to crossing 500 views. Since that video went up, well, actually when I put that back and forth video up, it had crossed over 800 just in like a day or two. And now, going on 12th, the 13th day, I think it's tomorrow, that video has crossed over and has 5,000 views. Picked up a lot of subscribers. I appreciate the love. I'm going to bring more videos like this. You guys like this video. I do want to mix it up. I'll probably do a combination of gameplay, and when I hit a scenario, I'll jump in. I'll show you the gameplay, how I handle it, and then I'll jump in the lab and show you. So anyway, hit that subscribe button. This is Philly Renegade. You got anything, tips or tricks you need, message me. You guys been finding me. You've been PlayStation Network messaging me. You've been Instagramming me. Hit me on YouTube comments. Whatever you need, find me. Get your question out there. I'm going to try to make a video for you. If I can't make a video, we'll get in a chat session and we'll talk through what you're looking for. Anyway, Philly Renegade, I'm out.